The Otsutsuki's power destroyed everything, and Boruto screamed in despair. Dude, how could he fail like that when the fate of the world was at stake? Months earlier, the tension was palpable in Konoha. Boruto trained, but with every blow, he felt a frustration. He knew it wasn't enough. You saw the fear in the eyes of the older shinobi, because the Otsutsuki threat was no longer a distant legend. It was drawing closer, and the karma seal on his palm pulsed like a deadly reminder. His body, his life, everything was at risk. Reports arrived daily, speaking of alliance outposts in ruins, with chakra drained and ninjas transformed into trees. You got a chilling gut feeling, because something huge and terrible was about to happen. Boruto, trained alone, sweating over jutsus that were once his pride. Sarada and Mitsuki tried to motivate him, but he saw the truth in their eyes. His Rasengan no longer had the necessary impact, and his Chidori seemed weak. With each encounter with Code and his henchmen, he realized the massive gap between them. The Otsutsuki's strength was relentless and demanded more. He couldn't protect Naruto or the village with just what he had. One night, an ancient voice whispered in his dreams, promising a power beyond imagination. An absolute power, but with a sacrifice few would dare to consider. The path to it was forbidden. You saw Boruto hesitate for a second, but the weight of responsibility was too much. He knew time was running out and options were few. Darkness was coming, and he needed a light or an even greater shadow. He ignored the warnings and sought out the hidden scrolls that spoke of a legendary sage, a hermit who mastered a chakra that no living being had ever managed to control. Boruto then opened the last scroll, and a dark blue energy enveloped the room in seconds. He didn't know what would come next, but he was ready for the unknown. The dark blue energy pulsed around him. The room began to shift. Walls dissolved into a cosmic void, and you felt the air grow dense as if time itself was twisting. Boruto floated with no ground beneath his feet. A voice echoed from all sides. It wasn't physical, but an ancient, primordial feeling. It spoke of a power that even the toads of Mayaboku feared, an absolute sage who commanded the pure chakra of the universe, not just nature. But this power came with a brutal price, man. The voice said it demanded complete fusion with the environment, a sacrifice that could erase the user's individuality. You felt a chill down your spine, because Boruto could become part of something greater, but also lose who he was. Boruto's eyes narrowed. You saw the doubt on his face for an instant. But the image of Naruto and Sarada came to mind, and despair transformed into an iron resolve. He couldn't give up, not now. The ancient voice then revealed the key. And it wasn't a secret jutsu, dude. It was the acceptance of his own fragility, a total surrender to the flow of cosmic chakra. You realized true strength wasn't in resisting, but in giving in. Suddenly, Boruto was hurled into a formless place. It was a limbo of pure energy where his very existence seemed to unravel. The air burned, and you saw blue lightning tearing through the void. He felt his own chakra being sucked away. It was as if the environment wanted to consume him whole. It was a test of will, a battle against the annihilation of his very soul. You knew he was at his limit, but then Boruto stopped fighting. He took a deep breath and let his body relax. You saw the dark blue aura begin to merge with the energy around. It was no longer a fight, it was a dance. And in that instant of surrender, an invisible door opened within him. The voice explained that the key wasn't to learn, but to unlearn. It wasn't about dominating, but about merging with the supreme sage who had always been there, dormant. The dark blue energy enveloped him completely. Ancient knowledge flooded his mind. He felt the power of all stars and galaxies pulsing within him, but the sensation that there was something more, something he still couldn't comprehend, remained. Boruto opened his eyes. The cosmic void dissolved, revealing the scroll room intact. But in his palm, the karma seal glowed with a dark and strange intensity, completely different from what he knew. The karma seal on his palm now pulsed with a cold, unknown energy. You felt a chill, because it wasn't Ishiki's power. It was something deeper and older. A whisper echoed in his mind, not a voice, but a vibration, calling him to a place not even the scrolls mentioned. It was a hidden realm, beyond Mayaboku and any ninja map. Boruto felt the weight of immense power, but also the fragility of incomplete knowledge. He knew the Otsutsuki threat wouldn't wait for him. Time was cruel. The new chakra flowed through his veins, but it was wild, untamable. He needed more. He needed to understand the link he had with that ancestral power before it consumed him. You saw the urgency in his eyes. Boruto closed his eyes and focused on the vibration, letting himself be carried away. The room vanished, and a cosmic fog enveloped him. It was as if he was floating among falling stars and vibrant nebulas. The air smelled of electricity and time distorted. Boruto felt an overwhelming pressure, as if the universe was testing him. He found himself in an immense desert of shimmering blue crystals, under a sky with 3 moons. Blue lightning tore across the horizon, and you heard howling winds that sounded like ancestral screams. It was the hidden realm. Creatures of pure chakra, electric shadows with flaming eyes, emerged from the crystalline sands. They attacked him with energy claws and distorted blasts. It was a brutal ordeal, a fight for his very existence. Boruto fought, but not with jutsus. He used the Supreme Sage instinctively, transforming the blasts into his own energy, absorbing the rage and the attack. You saw his skin glow with an intense dark blue aura. At the peak of the battle, a gigantic crystal rock split open, and from within emerged an ancient toad. Its skin was like millennial moss, and its eyes were ancient galaxies. It observed Boruto with an eerie calm. The ancient toad didn't attack. It simply watched him, and its voice, an echo of past eras, reverberated through the crystal desert. Boruto Uzumaki, the Supreme Sage has always had a guardian, and you have been brought to me for the final test. But before Boruto could react, the toad pointed to a symbol etched on its own forehead. It was the same symbol that now glowed sinisterly on Boruto's karma seal. The ancient toad's voice cracked the air. It revealed that this ancestral symbol was the mark of union, the seal that connected the guardian of the Supreme Sage to the next vessel. And now it was on you, Boruto, a revelation that turned everything upside down. You saw the perplexity in Boruto's eyes. The karma wasn't just Otsutsuki. It was a link to something much greater. The ancient toad explained that the Supreme Sage was cosmic energy itself, and the karma, a portal to access it, but also to be consumed. The training began brutally. The ancient toad ordered Boruto to sit on a pulsating crystal flower, which emanated a cold, dark blue chakra. You felt the temperature drop drastically, because this energy was unlike anything else. The flower began to drain Boruto's life essence. He felt every fiber of his body scream in protest, as if he were being crushed and stretched simultaneously. It was a pain that went beyond the physical, straight to the soul. You saw Boruto break into a cold sweat, his muscles trembling. The ancient explained that this energy wasn't from the planet's nature, but from the cosmos, and merging with it required him to stop being Boruto and become the void. An extreme sacrifice. With each passing moment, fragments of his memory detached. Faces, laughter, even the image of Naruto and Sarada. Everything seemed to fade away. You felt the panic because Boruto was losing himself, absorbed by an impersonal, limitless power. But the ancient toad's voice echoed a mantra of surrender. Do not fight the dissolution. Let go of yourself. Allow the universe to become you. Boruto then closed his eyes and gave in, letting the void consume him. At the peak of agony, a silent explosion of dark blue energy enveloped the crystal flower. Boruto's body floated, weightless, and his karma seal now radiated a dark and serene light at the same time. It was a transmutation. You felt a power that was cold and hot, distant and intimate. The crystal desert fell silent. The chakra creatures knelt. Boruto had become a portal to cosmic energy, but his individuality was now a question. The ancient approached, and Boruto opened his eyes. They were no longer blue, but an abyss of distant stars. He had achieved the absolute sage, but the price was his own humanity, diluted into something unimaginable. But the ancient did not seem satisfied. He revealed that the true challenge wasn't to achieve the power, but to comprehend it. The symbol on his forehead and on Boruto's karma held an even deeper secret. The ancient toad then pointed to a crack in the desert floor, which opened, revealing an abyss of pure darkness, calling Boruto to the next and final test. The fate of the world hung in the balance, and he knew Boruto was different. The abyss of darkness sucked Boruto in. It wasn't just a hole, dude. It was a vacuum that stole light and sound. You felt the dense air transform into pure non-existence, and gravity inverted. He floated in an endless void, and the cosmic energy he had absorbed seemed to fight against dissolution. It was as if the universe wanted to unmake him. You saw the terror in his eyes. The ancient toad's voice echoed from the rift above, distorted by the darkness. Boruto, the void is your true teacher. Surrender to absence, for that is where the absolute sage resides. The sacrifice was not complete. Boruto felt the pressure. Every cell of his body clamored for identity. But the essence of the supreme sage demanded total submission. You knew he was on the verge of losing himself forever. But then a golden spark shone. It wasn't his, but from the power dwelling within him. This spark expanded, tearing through the darkness in seconds. It was a counterattack from a sage. A silent explosion of pure divine energy enveloped him. The cosmic void was repelled, and Boruto emerged at the center. He was no longer Boruto. His eyes were now a pure gold, and a luminous aura radiated from him. His body pulsed with a strength that transcended everything, man. You felt the air vibrate around him. It was the absolute sage in his total glory. He had the power of the Hokages, but taken to a cosmic level. The divine aura was so intense that the shadows of the abyss receded. He no longer felt pain or fear. There was only an eerie calm, a cold, relentless power that he now controlled. The ancient toad appeared from the top of the rift, its galactic eyes fixed on Boruto. You have awakened, finally. But this power has a purpose. It is not for your will, but for your mission. Boruto fixed his golden gaze on the immensity. The vibration in his palm, the Karma seal, now pulsed with the same divine energy. But it was as if an ancient memory was beginning to reveal itself. The ancient raised one of its millennial paws. You are the guardian, Boruto, and your destiny is greater than you imagine. There is an evil that even the Otsutsuki cannot see, and you will be the universe's only chance. He felt the power flow, but the coldness in his own eyes frightened him. Something had changed within him. The old Boruto, the boy with an easy smile, might have been left behind. Boruto and Isshiki collided, and the universe screamed. Cosmic energy clashed against Karma, a brutal power that no one expected. Isshiki was stronger, and Boruto was there. Boruto emerged from the abyss, his golden eyes fixed on the ancient toad. He felt the absolute sage flow, a cold and precise power. But a voice in his mind still whispered profound warnings. The ancient revealed that the confrontation would be against Isshiki. The ancient toad explained that Isshiki had absorbed a fragment of Kagaya in an unguarded moment, becoming more brutal and merciless. A new phase of his plan had begun, and you knew Boruto was the universe's only remaining chance. But he wasn't completely ready. The crack in the desert floor wasn't just an abyss of tests, dude. It was a dimensional passage that the ancient opened, projecting Boruto directly into Earth's orbit, where Isshiki was already waiting. You felt the urgency of that perfect ambush. You saw Isshiki float among satellite debris and rocks, his Byakugan radiating a bloodthirsty, inhuman glow. He was a gigantic tower of power, with longer horns and a malicious aura pulsing around him. This wasn't the Isshiki Boruto knew, it was something beyond. Boruto felt Ishiki's icy contempt, and his body reacted on its own. He floated, his golden eyes unleashing pure cosmic chakra rays that would turn a meteor to dust. The first clash would be brutal, a relentless test of his new power and control. Isshiki effortlessly used Daikokutten, hurling gigantic obelisks from another dimension at Boruto, but he disintegrated them with a focused gaze. The taijutsu blows were like gravity punches, each impact generating visible shockwaves in space. You felt the force of every impact, but Isshiki was more agile, his chakra rods appearing out of nowhere and hitting blind spots that even the absolute sage couldn't predict. He attacked Boruto's mind with whispers of despair, trying to break his concentration, and you saw the doubt in his golden eyes. Something wasn't right in the fight. Isshiki cackled, his voice a cosmic thunder that echoed in the vacuum of space. He revealed that Boruto's absolute sage was a double-edged sword, because the power came with loneliness and the loss of his own reason. He was isolating Boruto, separating him from everything he knew. Boruto screamed, not from physical pain from the attacks, but from a mental agony that tore him apart inside. He tried to fight the dissolution, but Isshiki smiled, because the absolute sage was already consuming his own mind at a terrifying pace. Boruto screamed, but it was no longer pain controlling him. It was the fury of the absolute sage, the void he had accepted, now responding to the attack. You saw a grim decision fix his golden eyes, because he would no longer fight as Boruto. He embraced the dissolution, letting his identity be crushed to be reborn as something greater. Isshiki's whisper became a distant echo, and the loneliness the Otsutsuki tried to impose transformed into an impersonal force, a terrifying calm. Boruto raised his hand, not for a jutsu, but for a gesture of pure will. The space around Isshiki began to distort, not by gravity, but by an energy that devoured reality itself. Isshiki stopped smiling, and his Byakugan widened with the first sign of genuine fear. He felt the threat of a power that exceeded even the Otsutsuki's comprehension, a cosmic void that consumed everything. He tried to shrink, to use Sukuna Hikona, but it was useless. Boruto wasn't attacking him with chakra or blows, but with a total absence of existence. You saw Isshiki age visibly, as if time was accelerated to the maximum. Ishiki's body began to crumble into stardust. His horns cracked, and the malicious aura dissipated into particles of light. He screamed, but the sound was sucked into the vacuum Boruto created, leaving no trace. In a final flash of dark blue light, Isshiki vanished, disintegrated from existence. Not an atom remained, only the void. The universe fell silent. The most ancient threat finally annihilated. Boruto floated victorious, but you felt a chill down your spine. His golden eyes showed neither joy nor relief. There was only a vastness, a distant coldness that seemed to have erased all emotions. He had saved the world, but at what cost? Boruto's individuality, his human essence, had merged too much with the absolute sage. He was a guardian, yes, but perhaps no longer the Boruto everyone knew. The victory was bitter. The karma seal on his palm no longer glowed with darkness or light, but with the absence of color, a symbol of incalculable power and irreparable loss. The universe was saved, but Boruto's saga has just begun. If you dug this cosmic twist, smash that like button to show some love and subscribe so you don't miss the next mysteries. There's a lot more waiting for you here, dude.